Hi there, boys and girls. Time for story time with Mr. Riddle. We're going to read And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street by Dr. Seuss. It's a story about telling silly stories. I think you will see. When I leave home to walk to school, Dad always says to me, "Marco, keep your eyelids up and see what you can see." But when I tell him where I've been and what I think I've seen, he looks at me and sternly says, "Your eyesight's much too keen. Stop telling such outlandish tales. Stop turning minnows into whales." Now what can I say? When I get home today, all the long way to school and all the way back, I've looked and I've looked and I've kept careful track, but all that I've noticed, except my own feet, was a horse and a wagon on Mulberry Street. That's nothing to tell of. That won't do, of course. Just a broken down wagon that's drawn by a horse? That can't be my story. That's only a start. I'll say that a zebra was pulling my cart. And that is a story that no one can beat when I said that I saw it on Mulberry Street. Instead of a horse, a zebra? That would be interesting. Yes, the zebra is fine, but I think it's a shame, such a marvelous beast with a cart that's so tame. The story would really be better to hear if the driver I saw were a charioteer, a golden blue chariot, something to meet, rumbling like thunder down Mulberry Street. No, it won't do at all. A zebra's too small. A reindeer is better. He's fast and he's fleet, and he'd look mighty smart on old Mulberry Street. Hold on a minute. There's something wrong. A reindeer hates the way it feels to pull a thing that runs on wheels. He'd be much happier instead if he could pull a fancy sled. A reindeer and a sleigh? Say, anyone could think of that. Jack or Fred or Joe or Nat. Say, even Jane could think of that. But it isn't too late to make one little change. A sleigh and an elephant. That's something strange. I'll pick one with plenty of power and size. A blue one with plenty of fun in his eyes. And then, just to give him a little more tone, have a Raja with rubies perched high on his throne. Say, that makes a story that no one can beat when I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street. Is that a more interesting story? An elephant with a Raja pulling a sleigh? That would be interesting. But now I don't know. It still doesn't seem right. An elephant pulling a thing that's so light would whip it around in the air like a kite. But he'd look simply grand with a great big brass band. That's what the elephant should be pulling. A band that's so good should have someone to hear it. But it's going so fast that it's hard to keep near it. I'll put it on a trailer. I know they won't mind if a man sits and listens while hitched on behind. But now, is it fair? Is it fair what I've done? I'll bet those wagons weigh more than a ton. That's really too heavy a load for one beast. I'll give him some helpers. He needs two at least. Two helpers to help him pull that band and a trailer. But now, what worries me is this. Mulberry Street runs into Bliss. There's something I can fix up. There'll be an awful traffic mix-up. Mulberry Street, Bliss Street. It takes police to do the trick, to guide them through where traffic's thick. It takes police to do the trick. They'll never crash now. They'll race at top speed with Sergeant Mulvaney himself in the lead. Police officers can give them an escort. That way they can go fast down the street. The other cars will move out of the way, won't they? The mayor is there, and he thinks it is grand, and he raises his hat as they dash by the stand. The mayor is there, and the aldermen too, all waving big banners of red, white, and blue. And that is a story that no one can beat when I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street. With a roar of its motor, an airplane appears and dumps out confetti while everyone cheers. And that makes a story that's really not bad, but it still could be better. Suppose that I add a Chinaman who eats with sticks. Chopsticks. And a big magician doing tricks. And a 10-foot beard that needs a comb. No time for more. I'm almost home. I swung round the corner and dashed through the gate. I ran up the steps, and I felt simply great, for I had a story that no one could beat, and to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. But Dad said quite calmly, "Just draw up your stool and tell me the sights on the way home from school." There was so much to tell, I just couldn't begin. Dad looked at me sharply and pulled at his chin. He frowned at me sternly from there in his seat. Was there nothing to look at? No people to greet? Did nothing excite you or make your heart beat? Did he not see anything? Nothing, I said, growing red as a beet, but a plain horse and wagon on Mulberry Street. The end. Hope you enjoyed the story, and to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. He was sure making up quite the tall tale. I don't know if that was quite the truth, was it? I like in the end that he said he saw the horse and cart, because that was what he really saw. Sometimes it's okay to make up silly stories if Mom and Dad know you're just being silly and making up silly stories. But remember, always be honest and tell the truth if they're asking a question for real. See you later. Bye-bye.